Jenny.
And we are here with the second component of the SIOP model, which is
building background.
So students learn best when they are able to make connections with the content.
So teachers need to intentionally make links for the students when teaching a new concept. So make sure that you are bringing in that background knowledge as you are teaching.
Absolutely. I found it's really awesome if you can make the connections to whole group experiences that you've had, maybe like we play a beanbag game the first day, or we all go to the zoo. That works really well.
Yeah.
Also get to know your students. Studies have shown that there's a strong link between student achievement and vocabulary knowledge. Therefore, we must explicitly teach academic language and content vocabulary. Academic language is the language we use at school.
Yep.
It is not the playground language. It is what we actually use within our content areas.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't think I need to add anything to that. Okay. So here are some ways that we can build vocabulary. We can contextualize key vocabulary. So basically that means review the content and select key vocabulary terms that are critical to understanding. I'll keep going. Introduce and define terms concretely and simply. Demonstrate how terms are used in context, including using synonyms or cognates to clarify.
Absolutely.
So, and sometimes I don't realize there's a cognate there, but then my students are like, oh, you know, this. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. But be careful with that because sometimes, which one? It's pregnant.
I don't know. But is there not? Either way, your Wonders stuff has in the vocabulary list in the Wonders, if you happen to be an elementary teacher using Wonders, it will actually list on the vocabulary cards what the cognates are and not. I haven't had an EL in my room in the last couple of years, but my students love to learn the Spanish words for things. So that's kind of cool. Another way to build vocabulary is like vocabulary self-selection. This is a method where students are empowered to find the vocabulary words that are most important to the text on their own. I kind of feel like this would not be a first day type activity, but maybe after you're a little into the content, but that's another way that was suggested in the SIOP model.
So, personal dictionaries or glossaries. So, individual resource for spelling and vocabulary, making sure they have that resources for spelling and vocabulary. Arranged around topic or key concept when using for math. So, we like to use interactive notebooks and making sure when we use those interactive notebooks to have a table of contents and an index so that way our students can go find where those vocabulary words are in their interactive notebook.
It makes it a way more valuable resource for them. Another way would have content word walls. This doesn't just have to be the alphabet with like vocabulary words. It can actually be by topic. It could also be like, hey, it is math, and you could have a whole math wall that is the math words or the examples of what's going on. I kind of thought it would be like maybe if you were, because the idea is the students help you make this and they have ownership. So maybe if you don't need a whole great big one in your small group, you could create one just for that group of kids. So that might be helpful.
All right. Organizers.
I think you
I
said that in the last
video. So vocabulary organizers. Some great ones are your Friar's model or your Foursquare, and having that, the four corners chart. So the bubble map is also a great one, concept definition map, and just make sure that you are using those to the best of your ability, because it helps map it out in their brain for them. Exactly. And it's making that connections to the background, just like what we are supposed to be talking about.
Background knowledge.
Background knowledge.
And it's crazy because vocabulary is the key within this component. And it is because they need the background knowledge of the vocabulary in order to learn and use the English language.
Exactly. All right.
So games. Is it my turn or your turn?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We can both play games together.
Exactly.
Any content area you want to include some vocabulary games. You have probably used some of these in your classroom already. You want to read every other word?
Yep, sure.
Okay, go for it.
So, word sorts.
Matching visuals to definitions.
Use music.
Pictionary.
Scrabble.
Headbands.
Word searches.
Crossword puzzles.
And word cloud.
Those are just a few examples of some vocabulary games that you may find helpful within your content areas.
Yep.
All right, the quote at the end of this component is...
The only source of knowledge is experience.
By Albert Einstein.
All right.
Bye.